Alright, welcome back everybody. We're now into round 4. We have the two X1 players. We have Prank Kids on the left versus Dragon Link. And Dragon Link started off with die roll with a Saferd, adding, I think it was a Black Dragon, but got Lancia'd. So going into a quick launch. Get the Tracer. Go Striker, add Boot, possibly then if he has another rocket monster in his hand, play into Nibiru with Boot Sector's effect.
Yep, and then you can at least end on a Savage or a Spheres. Wait, no, he can't even Spheres yet. He can't Spheres.
Oh,
Ooh.
goes into an Imperm on Tracer's effect.
Sheesh.
I'm surprised he didn't summon his Rocket Synchron with Boot Sector. Because at least that way he can make a Hot Red and go into Chaos Ruler to mill 5.
Yeah.
Alright, so probably just play a little more reserved so he has more cards to play next round, next turn. Starts off with a Fire. And Tidings it immediately on summon. But we do see 1/1 in his hand.
What?
But he doesn't play it. Alright. So
Okay.
Black Dragon banishes Saferd and flips there can only be one.
Ooh. That's crazy.com. Yo.
In the main. Alright, swinging out.
See, remember, I think I was talking about this yesterday where Prankage should play more floodgates, strikes,
Yeah.
something like that, because their engine has to stay the same no matter what in any deck list. So you just prioritize playing floodgates and hand traps, and they're all different types too, so it's so great. Normal.
Yeah. So normal summon Fire one more time. Link it off with a Meow, then trigger Fire's effect. Burn for 500, and he does special summon. Possibly Dropsies. Yep.
Yep. Now going into Doodle Doo.
And Doodle is a Thunder, right?
Yep. He's activating Pandemonium now, fusing to Rocket Ride. What type is Rocket Ride? It should be a machine.
Rocket
Pyro.
Ride.
Pyro.
Yeah.
He's down more. Down more. You missed him.
Okay, yes. He banishes 1/1. So I guess he just didn't want to play into an Ash or anything. So he summons a Fansies. Okay. Then use Rocket Ride's effect, Tribute, special Dropsies and Roxy's. And
Scooping up.
Dragon just scoop it up. I understand that there can only be one. It's not going to be hard enough already. So Draglinks try to play through. It gets slowed down a little bit by Lancia, but there can only be one. Literally just solidified a lot of stuff because it's a one type deck.
Yeah, Dragon Link's only main deck spell and trap removal is Tiding for the most part.
Yeah.
Some people main Cyclone, but it's not really common. So game one, definitely that there can be only one swept.
Yeah, now it makes sense what we've seen on like most of like the top players. They are playing Cosmic Cycle in the main, so to hit cards like there can only be one. Schism, which is the big issue this format, making a lot of decks that just give the ability to summon Winda. and
Yeah, I
that
don't know
card
why.
is a floodgate on its own. So
Yep.
it makes sense why. If he did have the tiding, it's just that he had to waste it on a prank his normal summon, so it doesn't just steamroll into something he couldn't
Yeah, he had
control
to
out
do
of.
that. Had to do it.
But prank is just doing prank his plays.
Yep. One big prank.
So these guys will be finishing up. So as prank kid player, you're gonna be going second. What do you think is a good sideboard? Because you already made a Galancia. What else can you put in to make his Dragon Link matchup better?
I think this player, I mean, most Prank Kids players, if they have access to it, they will side Droplets, they will side Ruler, they'll side Infinite Blowout cards because that deck is always going to be a one-card combo deck. There's not really that many extenders, only in the form of Prank Kids Pranks, 1-for-1, or Instant Fusion. So they can't really cut any of those cards, but there are so many cards they can cut for more blowout cards that allow them to play the game with only one card.
Yeah.
So those cards I'd imagine be coming in, both Droplets and Dark Ruler, if what's the name, Jamar is going to be playing them.
Okay. All right. So I can see that happening. So let's see these guys finishing up their sideboard and going into the game two.
Game 2. All right. Jamar's up game 1. Imagine Chris is going to go first.
We do see a normal summon recharger. Into
Lancia
a Lancia again.
Talents? Nope.
No, but he does have Abster Router. Going to Spheres. Abster Router.
Looks like he's setting 2 and ending on Spheres. All right.
Oh, he opened a driver. So it's starting off with the Imperm. That's very interesting to start seeing Imperm in the Prankers deck.
It's because, I mean, Imperm's coming up a lot more now because the banning of VFD. Because that card did nothing against VFD, and really everybody was just trying to negate VFD. So I guess people are still testing out in what ratios they want to play their hand traps, which hand traps they're going to play. And Imperm is actually seeing a little bit more play due to it.
Alright, so he goes Spheres Effect, Tribute for cost. And then, since it was Imperm, it can't bounce anything, but activate the second effect since it was tributed to Special Dragon from the deck. Goes for Dragon Chambermaid to add Tiding, and then flips up a Tiding of his own that's set.
Pandemonium.
Pandemonium.
Sheesh.
Fusing Roxy's and the Fire.
Alright. Yikes.
Right into Rocket Ride.
Does Tiding say it has to bounce both?
It should resolve as much as possible.
Yeah, because if so, the Chamber Dragon Maid is going to be in the hand. I want to make sure on that. Let's see. Target one Dragon monster you control and one card your opponent's going to return them to the hand. I believe it returns as many as possible. It doesn't say both. It returns them. Yeah, so it should bounce.
Should always reach out to the judge if you can catch it in time.
Yeah.
Alright, so they able to catch that.
Yeah, the Dragon Maid got bounced because it says return them, not those targets or all targets. So it would resolve as much as possible.
So Prank is just doing their plays. He is locked into them because of Pandemonium, but doesn't matter if you just keep resolving Lamb Seas, Drop Seas, burn damage already, swing for more damage, and he has, ooh.
His Pranks to extend further into the Link 4.
Oh, I haven't seen the Link 4 in a while.
Yeah. Destroys
So-
all spell and traps your opponent controls by tributing, and if it's destroyed, you get to add any card from your graveyard to your hand. That's a non-link.
Interesting that he didn't go for the Butler so that he can clear the monster board.
During his opponent's turn, he can activate Bow Wow to return 2 Prankets cards from his graveyard to his hand. If one of those sets is Pandemonium and he draws into any Pranksies that's not Roxy's, he just activates Bow Wow, adding the final 2 pieces, and then fusion summoning Butler on his opponent's turn, creating another 1,500 in life point difference as well as more advantage.
Yeah.
Well, Prankids, that deck is, in my opinion, the most glass cannon of the decks in the format.
It was a Twin Twister set.
Sheesh. Yeah,
And it was a Pandemonium run.
Yep. But in regards to your question, Romario, Prankids is too much of a glass cannon deck to play through a board. So in terms of if Jamar goes first and is uninterrupted, he should have the game. Depending on how well the Dragon Link player opens. But in my opinion, it's 50-50. But if the Dragon Link player is playing hand traps or interruptions that can interact with Prankids' first effect being negated, then it's more in the favor of the Dragon Link player. But it's a 50-50 matchup. Dice roll definitely weighs heavily in that decision-making of who wins. Let's see.
So he starts off, he tries to, okay. So he's starting off adding the boost sector. Roaring Rooster, so boost sector cannot resolve. And he has the Meow in graveyard, so he doesn't have to tribute the Roaring Rooster for the ability. But is he going to tribute it?
Oh, the names are mixed around. Whoops, our apologies. We're going to make sure that gets fixed soon. Alright, so we got the names fixed. Looks like it's Chris's turn. He's going to flip Tidying.
I think it is so hard because the tiding, whatever he's going to bounce off, is just going to be fused off.
Well, no, this is in response to Pandemonium. If he bounces Rocket Ride, it's off the board.
Okay. Oh, I thought Chris had 2 cards in hand, and he has only the 1.
And he has the starter. Does not look good for Abraham.
Lampsees again, burn for 5s, get another summon.
This might look like a 2-0. There can only be one taking game 1, and then Prank Kid's doing prank. They're pulling some pranks. He's definitely pranking.
It's just a prank, bro.
Doing what the deck is meant to do.
Sends the prank is placed to the grave, and what he's gonna.
Oh, he's resolving fancies, I think.
And then
Oh,
adds
he's
the
adding
trap,
doodle doodle doodle.
so you can recycle. Always prank his monsters.
Looks like he's adding that to hand. And now he's discarding it to summon a token.
And that's it.
That's it. Looks like Chris commands a 2-0 victory.
It happens. Dragon Link, if you don't, well, there can only be one is already powerful enough already. So, and he did. We see that Chris also sides into Mystic Mine. So, if
Yeah.
things could have worked in Abraham's favor for the Dragon Link, if he could have a Dark Ruler no more Mystic Mine, it would have put him in really bad trouble until he draws into, if he sides in Cosmic. Well, we do see Twins and Tiding.
Yeah, Mystic Mine is very, very good in the Prank Kids deck because he can leave Bow Wow and Mine up, and then as soon as they attempt to summon another monster, Bow Wow chains, since there's one monster on each field. All monster effects are able to activate, chain tributing as cost, and now the opponent has one monster, and they can't activate any monster effects in response to Bow Wow.
Yeah, if they had a bell, they can't even bell in response because now Mine's of continuous effect is now being applied.
Correct. Yeah, Mine is very, very powerful in that deck. We didn't get to see it in action, but there can be only one, and pranks are were definitely the winner there.
Yeah.
So we're going to come back to you round 5 with the last match. We're probably going to get table 1, see who wins the whole event.
Yes.
So we'll catch you then.
All right, stay tuned.